Welcome back to another one of my Yap sessions. And if you actually watch these videos, I am truly grateful for you for taking the time to actually, take the time out of your day and actually watch these videos because, you know, when I'm trying to figure everything out at the very beginning, I'm not going to be perfect. My content is probably going to be, there's going to be a lot of filler. And I feel like my words don't really mean much because I'm still beginning. I'm still figuring stuff out. So if you took the time to actually watch this video, I'm truly grateful. And I just want to go over some things that I've learned over posting because I'm reaching nearly 3 months straight of posting every single day, both on TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube, all that stuff. And I think I should take a moment to be proud of myself because when is the last time that you've stuck to something for every day for 3 months straight? And I think this is the second thing that I've done so far because the gym is something that I've been really consistent with in the last 6 months. So the fact that I've added something else that I can also be consistent in, I'm pretty proud of that, right? So I can take a moment to say I'm pretty proud of that. And I wanted to hit 10K followers by the end of the year, but I soon realized that it's actually a lot more difficult than I thought. And I then switched down the goal to 3K followers, right? Because I thought it'd be more realistic based off the statistics of how many followers I've gained in the last 2 months, and I've ended up hitting it already. So I'm gonna aim for like 5K. If I can get 5K by the end of the month, that will be so good. But that's kind of the goal right now. But things I've learned so far is just show up every single day. The only way that you really lose in anything that you want to pursue is if you give up. And eventually over time, if you just keep showing up every single day and keep getting better little by little every single day, you will eventually hit your goals. And that's what I truly believe. Alex Hermosi, I'm just going to explain this. I was watching an Alex Hermosi video, right? Trying to be, good and be into self improvement and everything. And one of the best ways to learn is to actually just kind of yap and try to teach others what, you know, what ideas that you learn, right? That's the best way to learn, right? You get a mentor, you learn from them, and then you teach others. That is the best way to learn. So I'll just kind of go over one of the things that I learned. So I was watching a video from Alex Hermosi, and he basically explained a story that he wrote in his book, $100 million Leads, I think. I used to be a big reader, as you can see on the back, but I didn't actually read that book. But that story basically explains that if you think of business as an infinite game, or even any endeavor that you want to pursue, like content creation or gym or whatever it is, right? He basically explains the story of two people, and they have two different dice, and each dice has multiple sides. One dice has 20 sides, and one die has 200 sides. And each one of those dies has one green side, and the rest are all red sides. And two random people, get handed these dies. Now the rules are that nobody knows out of the two people, none of them know which dice they have. They don't know if they have the 20-sided die. They don't know if they have the 200-sided die, and um they don't know which die each person has either. So it's completely random. But they just get given this die, and the goal of the game is just to keep rolling the die. And if you land on a red side, which is very often because there's say 20-sided die, there's one green side, 19 of the red sides. So the goal of the game is to keep rolling the die. If you land on red, then you roll again, right? You keep rolling again, and eventually, when you land on a green side, the green side kind of spreads to one other red side. So if you land on a green and you have a 20-sided die, that means instead of one side being only green, now two sides are green. And then once you hit those greens, then you re-roll and you re-roll and you re-roll. And if you kind of take this perspective into business, as long as you keep rolling the die, eventually over time, whether how long, how many rolls it takes, the whole die will be green eventually. And for some people, they may have been given a 20-sided die. They may have been given a 200-sided die. They may have been given a 2,000-sided die. But the end goal of the game is to just keep rolling this die, and eventually every single side will be green. And the main lesson of this game is it's an infinite game, right? As long as you keep rolling, you will eventually turn your whole die green. And if we view the whole die being green as, the success you're looking for, over time, the amount of rolls you do, your whole die will eventually be green. And the problem with the game is the only way that your die will not be green is if you give up and if you stop rolling and you stop playing the game. And the person with the 200-sided die, he may complain to the other person, being like, "Oh yeah, you have less sides than me. Of course you're gonna gain. You're gonna get your die greener sooner." But the thing is, nobody knows how many sides their die actually has. The only goal is to just keep rolling until the die is green. And what I learned from that is I could take that with content and really say to myself, okay, every single post, whether it's short form, long form, every single post that I make is a roll on the die. And whether I get the views or whatever I'm looking for, each roll is each video I post is a roll on the die. And some videos some videos I may land on green, some videos I may land on red. But the thing is, as long as I keep posting, I keep rolling the die, I truly believe that I will succeed over time. And I don't care how long it takes, because I think focusing on this could actually take so long, but I've no clue. I don't know how many sides my die has. The only thing that I'm focusing on right now is just to keep rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling. And I know eventually that my whole die will turn green. So that's kind of what I've truly learned from that one Alex Hormozi video. And it gave me a lot of hope, because I now understand that the only way to actually fail is to stop playing the game. And the way to stop playing the game for me right now is to stop posting. So if I keep posting and I try to get better every single day, eventually my sides of the die will be greener and greener and greener until my whole die is green. And when that happens, I have achieved my goals. So that's kind of how I view my progress so far. So I've been rolling the die for nearly 90 days straight, every single day, trying to get better and trying to improve. And, if you want to go back to my first ever video, whether that's on TikTok or even YouTube, and if you could see if I've made any improvements, I truly do believe I've made a lot more, a lot of improvement over the last 3 months. I think I'm talking to the camera way more, kind of just more authentically. It's a lot more comfortable for me, right? And I think I've progressed a good bit. So I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep rolling my die. And I know eventually that every side will be green. So that's kind of what keeps me going every single day. And I just focus on the next roll. I focus on trying to get better. And yeah, that's how I'm kind of going along with it. So if you stayed for this YAP session, again, I'm truly grateful for you, because at the very beginning, I'm not going to have it all figured out. My content is going to be 100%. I understand that. So thank you for taking the time to sort of, watch this video. And hopefully, we may have learned a thing or two from my story. But, yeah, or Alex Hormozi's story, yeah, so that's the YAP session done for today. But, another thing, actually, I'm going to keep the thing that I want to talk about for tomorrow, because I need another topic for tomorrow. So, yeah, but that's the video for today. So, appreciate you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.